Hello, David Zwirsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. Look who's back all the way from Michigan. Luke Taggart, Bond's opponent.
Hello.
How are you, brother?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to see you.
You too.
Trying to think, the last time I saw you was way back in August for Gather All Six.
That's right.
And you had done, you have done an amazing video on like interviewing people and talking to people. A lot of people.
A lot of people. I would have liked to have done more, but microphones were dying and things. So
Yeah, and you got Mark Hazard. I know that was your main get.
What?
And then you also got the very charming Rachel Grant.
Rachel was awesome.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
And what a nice thing she had to say about the Bond community, Bond fans, and the way they look and dress.
Yeah, she thinks we're all hot. Hot.
She did say that.
Hot like a hot tub.
And that we're well appointed. And that's what this video is about, because there's lots of videos that both Luke and I have done on our channels about sort of how to get the best look of this, how to wear the polos, the best of X. But this time, we're actually going to be talking about those mistakes, which can be kind of fun to talk about. You know, the faux pas in our eyes, because I know that the way things fit, the way they look, our opinions are just that. They're our opinions, and they will differ.
Right.
Do you agree?
I do.
All right. So I'm going to start off, and we're going to kind of just go down and talk about each one. I'm going to name different ones, and I'm going to start with a sort of a formal Bond, semi-formal one. And I have seen Bond fans do this, and I myself used to be guilty way back in my late 20s and 30s, and that is people wear their pants too long to the point where the pants are bunching and pooling around the ankle, and it looks like they're melting in the sun.
That's a tough word.
But it just looks like it's badly hemmed.
Oh yeah.
You know this look, right?
Well, that's technically. I guess we could just most likely assume it was not hemmed.
It was not hemmed, or quite frankly, people don't know how to hem. I've seen a lot of men, for example, say, the tailor will always say this. They'll say, how do you like it to break? Do you like it to break hard, soft? But a lot of men will just look down. And when you look down, it actually prematurely makes the pant break anyway.
Oh,
and they go, yeah, perfect. And then when you raise yourself up, you don't realize the pants are still very long on you.
Right.
And then I've seen also men with really perfectly tailored suits, and it fits great in the legs, and then when it gets down to where it meets the shoes, it's a mess.
Yes.
It bothers me because you never see Bond like that.
Well, I think the part of the problem is I think you should bring these shoes to the tailor if you are getting them hemmed. I mean, back at Gatherall, Mason and Sons did a fitting for me, and I was wearing jeans, and Ryan from Mason and Sons said, "Is this where you would wear your trousers?" And I was like, actually, no. So I adjusted the jeans. And this is all, of course, a series of fittings. But most of the time, if it's something off the rack and you're like, okay, I'm a 33 waist, I like them a little short, I'll do a 29 length, 42 regular.
Yeah.
It's not going to fit the way you want it to.
No.
So when you go to the tailor, you should be bringing your watch. If you plan on wearing a watch, you should be bringing your shoes.
Yeah.
Anticipate how you're going to wear it, and don't look down.
And don't look down, yeah. So you want to put all these things together. I like that you're talking about, number one, a solution to this problem. And by the way, it's not just the Bond community. I work in corporate America. Don't know why I did that. And I see this all the time. And it's not just with the older crowd, you know, the ones that need to turn down their hearing aids or turn them up again. Inside joke. It is also with young people. And I'm thinking like, no, don't learn those bad habits. So please make sure either you have a very light break, or sometimes if you really want to show off your shoe, look in the best magazines. It shows no break at all. Your pants should be long enough. And by the way, wear your pants when you're getting them measured. Wear them where they are comfortable. Some people pull them up too high. You do the whole Clint Eastwood thing. Some people try to shimmy them down a little bit too low under their gut. Don't do that. Wherever you're going to wear them comfortably while walking, that's where you should be doing it when you get them hemmed.
Right. Agreed.
We're all about the solutions today, but that's the first one. How about you? You got one?
So mine was kind of around that, but it was more so looking at the top half.
Let's do it.
It was any sort of blazer. One of my biggest pet peeves is when the sleeves are too long, and then you can kind of throw in there too baggy.
Yes.
That's another one
I
where
call it the bat wings.
Yeah.
Where it's like, everything
big
kind
on
of
the
hangs
shirts.
down. Yes.
Yeah. So again, not that this is a Mason and Sons endorsement
Advert.
video, but I mean they are fantastic, and it really does show you. Of course, Mason and Sons is very high quality, but it really is just like if it's tailored properly to you, it changes everything.
Yeah.
So the pet peeve in itself, or the no-no, or what are we calling them? The don'ts or the mistakes.
The mistakes, the faux pas, whatever you want
Is
to call
just like you might be thinking if you're a 42 regular and you buy a 42 regular, it's going to fit perfect. That's not the case.
them. Yeah.
So make those small changes at the tailor, and it'll change things. You
And-
notice this?
No, I do, and it's so funny. So when they did the fittings at Gatherall, for example, they were talking about how things bunch up that you would never notice. Gaps in the chest.
Oh,
And
yeah.
They could put chest darts in, but the sleeve area is the hardest because of the way shoulders slope. Like, for example, I think you have one shoulder that slopes differently than the other. I do as well, and so Ryan from Anthony Sinclair actually will say to me, for example, that's your left sloping shoulder. He knows that if it's too much of a slope, the sleeve is going to bunch up. Even if you go like this, like Bond, when he straightens out his tie, he doesn't have all these sort of wrinkles, these crepiness
Yeah.
into the sleeve. That's because it's measured well, it's tucked, and you actually attribute the measurement to your movements.
Right. Yeah, one of the things Ryan asked me at Gatherall was after he put on a kind of like I think they call it a stock jacket or a standard jacket, was act like you're driving a car. So you hold your hands up, and then he wants you to tell him, how does it feel? The arms, not so much, but more so back here. And you say, not
Shoulders.
bad.
Yeah.
And their whole idea is we want you to be able to get into the car and not take your jacket off. And that's not so much of a, of course people take it off, prevent wrinkles and things like, but
Right.
the kind of intent around that statement is to be able to fully function day to day without having to take a jacket off. And the main thing is when you lift your arms, every aspect from shoulder, lapels, it all stays flat on your body.
That makes
it
perfect
moves
sense.
with you.
Yeah. All right, I've got another one.
Let's hear it.
And now we're going to go a little bit more casual, Bond. And happily, I haven't seen this a ton in the Bond community, but you see it a lot in corporate America. And if you are doing this, it's just a heads up. I think it's a mistake, and that is when people wear a polo, I see them sometimes wear a white undershirt underneath the polo. Now, I'm going to call this different levels of mistakes. I've seen them wear the white T-shirt under the polo, and even the white peeks out of the sleeve, never mind the top.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to your favorite magazine or your favorite casual Bond of any Bond and let me know which ones where he's wearing a white T-shirt under a polo. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It shouldn't exist on you. If you have a neck, which you do because God put your head on it to fit onto your body, then it's okay to show it off. This whole thing about, and by the way, I hear this all the time. People will say, well, you got to wear an undershirt or you're going to destroy your polo. If your body is wreaking that much bacteria that it's going to ruin the polo, you have something medically wrong with you.
I don't think I've ever, that's a new one for me.
Right. So second of all, some people say, well, I got to keep the sweat away. The T-shirt will soak it up.
Deodorant.
Again, yeah, if you have those type of issues, seek medical help immediately. But with this whole breaking of the line of the white, it is so disturbing to me because some people will wear really nice shirts and really nice polos, and then all of a sudden you break it up with the white. The eye doesn't want to see that, and it's not very James Bond. Agree or disagree?
I completely agree. It's a very good one. That's a tough one. It's kind of like even wearing an undershirt under a dress shirt. Sometimes when you can see that white underneath, it's just like it's not a strong look. So I see where you're coming from. I mean, I noticed every now and then I do notice and it's like a Hanes shirt.
Yeah.
So it's got like a really thick collar. It's
nice and high.
It's not meant for that.
No.
And if you insist on doing it, I'll do this. I'll play devil's advocate.
Sure.
If you insist on doing it, get a really thin shirt with a really wide neck so you can't see it.
Yeah. I agree.
Or even a V-neck or something you can't see.
I'll meet you halfway. First of all, before I get there, it is a misnomer, a big one, and a misunderstanding that a T-shirt underneath a dress shirt will actually wick away moisture and protect the shirt. If you have a well-made shirt, like a Sea Island cotton or a voile or things like that, you will breathe better. You will actually sweat less. A t-shirt underneath anything, including a sweater, will make you sweat a little bit more.
Yep.
Unless it's made of a particular fabric. Now, I'm going to meet you halfway. Where I've seen this done really nicely is, believe it or not, the tank tops. Like
Yeah.
the tank tops from Sunspell, like the Sea Island ones,
Yeah.
which are like kind of the ones with the strap. You may call it something different than a tank top. But those tank tops, you very rarely will see the sleeves underneath the dress shirts because all you have is here and here where the fabric is thicker.
Yeah.
And it comes down low in the tank top. So let's say after work you go out and you unbutton your shirt, which invariably you do, especially in this heat, you're not going to see this high neck white.
Right.
So a couple ways to battle that.
Yeah. Good one.
Thank you.
Good one.
Why don't you serve one up?
Okay. I think this is a tough one.
All right.
I think a big one for me is tucking a dress shirt into jeans. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
But they have to be the right type of jeans.
All right. Talk to us
Nowadays,
more about that.
I think it's kind of like you got to make sure that there's a nice taper. It's a nice, like, kind of one color jean, you know,
Right.
like not like rips and this, like it's, you know, there's a way to do it properly.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, it's like when the pants are too baggy, going back to your first point, the bunching, I think it's you're kind of trying to say, hey, like I'm taking myself seriously, but not too seriously. You still need to make sure that
Yes.
it looks good. Sometimes it's almost like your top is very like tailored and then the
Yes.
bottom's just kind of not.
Yeah. That's a great
Very Casino
point.
Royale Sunspell
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yes.
But worse because, of course, there was tailoring to that, but they were just a wider leg. But
It's a very early 2000s, late
yeah,
90s even look.
I mean, and I get that that's coming back in a very casual way, but I don't think it's coming back in that aspect.
I really, really like that one. I would not have thought of that, but it does bug me as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's especially, and again, I'm going to bring this back to Bond and things like that. You see it in corporate America where they're really not dressing like Bond. And I'm sorry to say you see it in a lot of America. This whole casual Friday, to some people, it means taking a dress shirt and pairing it with a pair of like blue jeans
Yeah.
and putting a bad braided belt on it and calling it a day and saying it's
Yeah.
casual because
Yeah.
of the jeans. Guess what? You can't mix a suit shirt
Yeah.
with a pair of jeans and go,
It's like a mullet.
job well done. Oh, I like that.
It's like a mullet.
It's like a
clothing
party
mullet.
in the back, business in the front.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Business on top, party on the bottom.
And by the way, you'll never see Bond in that type of gear.
No.
I really like that.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I wax off of yours? Because I had one, but I'm going to take it from yours because the one thing that bothers me, and unfortunately, I may be speaking to a lot of you. I used to do this myself, so it's a little bit of a confessional. I just saw this 2 weeks ago. We had a quarterly business review for a
Okay.
company, and many people, what they did was they came in a suit jacket, not a blazer. It was definitely a part of a suit jacket. They had a polo shirt on, like a golf shirt, and they had a pair of jeans. And this whole idea of suit jacket, or even the Brooks Brothers blue blazer with a pair of jeans, to me, it just doesn't feel very Bond. And I can't do it. I'll do a linen jacket with a pair of jeans, or I'll have something like that coincides. But this whole idea of corporate America saying, I need to have a blue blazer with a pair of jeans, just to me seems mishmashed. And honestly, almost every man in the room was wearing this outfit. It was almost like a uniform. And I'm thinking, like, think about it. If it's a uniform, it's what everybody's wearing. Do you really think that Bond would do that?
Exactly. No.
Do you see that a lot?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I also work in corporate America.
I know you do.
So
I don't know why we do that. It's like,
I don't either.
wonk.
But no, he's completely right. I think it's just like a lack of knowledge of how to properly do it.
Yeah.
I think, for example, I remember being in a meeting with somebody a few years back, and he did that, and it was very clearly a suit jacket. But then he had on like dress shoes, like very nice dress shoes with like baggy jeans. And it's like, so you saw the look somewhere and said, that looks good, but then thought, So all you need is a
Jeans.
jacket and jeans. No, you need the right jacket and the right jeans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, I hate to keep going back to this, but use inspiration from people that you feel dress well, or from James Bond. There's so many pictures, and I mean, we use these style icons for a reason. All right. I am now going to go into the very, very, I'll call it controversial world of the Bond community who dresses in James Bond brands and style. And I will choose one that I'm going to get a lot of comments about, maybe even both ways comments. And I'd like to get your opinion. It is people who say to themselves, I've always been this size. And I'll just use an example. I've always been a size large. So no matter what the top that I buy, for example, it's going to be a large. And they order things and wear things that are too big on them. It doesn't flatter them. They look like they're swimming in it. Bond looks tailored. I mean, there's a theme to all these mistakes, right? The mistakes have the same solution. Look like you are tailored, like you are wearing the clothes and not the clothes wearing you.
Yeah.
And when you get things that are too big, and I'm going to use an example and I'm going to name a name, and he has to forgive me because I love him and he corrected it. And that is our good friend Jay Sadowski.
Oh.
He ordered a Royal Filmwear Spectre polo. You have one of those.
Yep.
And
Fantastic.
he got a size too big because that is the size he always orders in every polo. And he got it in. He sort of ignored the sizing and sort of ignored the warnings. And he said, I'm going to get it in. And he got it in and he's like, ooh, okay. It's okay, but it's really not showing off. It doesn't look like the Daniel Craig one. He and I conversed. He conversed to Royal Filmwear. He ordered the next size down. He's in love.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, so do not go on tradition and habit with your size, and don't say to yourself, I need to order up to be comfortable. If it's a good made outfit that fits you right and fits your body type, and that's the other thing, go for your body type, then order the right size.
It's a good one.
You like it?
It's a good one. Yeah. I know it's like maybe a little bit of not a laziness thing. Sorry, Jay.
No,
But
it's not.
It like
It's habit.
nowadays a lot of times it'll say model is 5'10" wearing a medium,
Which
or
I like
something
when they do
that.
that, yeah.
So pay attention to that and look at the sizing chart.
That's-
Not everything's the same. And
Yeah.
I'll use Orla Bar Brown as an example. We talk about this a lot. I have things that are mediums, I have things that are larges, and I have things that are extra larges.
I have extra larges too.
Yeah, like that. So
And I have
it's-
smalls.
Yeah, and that's not a knock on Orla Bar Brown sizing being inconsistent. Some are slim, some are
Yeah.
tailored, some are regular, some are relaxed. You got to pay attention to the fit, and you know what? This is a personal attack on myself. If you order something such as an Orla Bar Brown and you know it's coming from the UK or wherever, it takes a couple weeks and it's the wrong size, send it back.
Oh gosh, yes.
Send it back. Don't just deal with it. Send it back.
Yeah, so that's so great because there's two things that Oliver Brown or any clothing brand want. They want you to be happy and they want you to look good in their clothing. They, especially us who tend to go onto Instagram and things like that, they want us to look our best. And whether they say it or not, whether you say it or not, you're sort of a representation of yourself, the Bond community, and of the brand.
Right.
So make it fit well. And these things are investments. I think
right.
you're insinuating
Right.
that.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you order, for example, if they have a sale, okay, and you order something and something maybe you wouldn't have gotten, maybe it's normally 600, it was on sale for 150.
yeah.
And you get it, and you're worried about, well, this is the only one they had in stock. I hate to tell you, just send it back because then you're never going to wear it. You might be like, well, I'm going to keep it because I love it.
Yes.
Or maybe I'm gonna hit the gym and I'm gonna
It never works.
No, and that's
Never
not that.
works.
Maybe you've got the drive and you actually are, but don't you want to wear it? You paid for it.
I haven't heard that many stories of people who say, I'm going to whittle myself down into a piece and it works.
It's usually for like a wedding dress, and that's about it.
Yeah. Did you fit into your wedding dress?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
I'm wearing it
didn't.
right now. You can't see the bottom of
The
it.
girdle just.
It's a nice mermaid.
Yeah, the manzier did not work for me at the time.
But I will say I have I'd say probably 2 pieces in my collection.
Right.
Not necessarily Orla Bar Brown, but that I was really excited to get, got lazy about sending it back for the right size, and now they just kind of sit there.
Can you name the piece?
One of them actually is an Orla Bar Brown, but it's actually an Orla Bar Brown hoodie.
Oh.
So something I'd never bought before, and I thought, wow, like that would be awesome to relax around the house in. It's very heavy. very high quality product, so
Yeah.
it's definitely a winter thing. So you can get away with it being big, but like if I were to leave the house in it, I would look ridiculous.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's kind of like you get it in the mail and you're like, okay, how can I validate not sending this back? Where
Yeah.
it's just like, just send it back. Because then if the medium doesn't fit, don't buy it at all.
If it don't fit, don't
Acquit.
quit. Yeah. That always feels too soon. I want to get your opinion on something because one of the, I'll call it mistakes, and again, I keep going back to myself because if there's a mistake that we've mentioned today, I've made it, maybe you've made it. So this is not like placing blame on pointing that way, it's pointing this way. But I think a mistake that's made, and it's right behind my left shoulder, is buying an outfit or buying a piece of clothing that you see Bond wearing and thinking it's going to be right for you. And in this case, the trench coat over here, which I have, is
The duster.
it was never going to be right for me, but I said in my mind, you know something, I will find the occasion. I'm going to force fit it in here, and it's not my type of thing, and it's so avant-garde, but Bond wears it, and he looks great, and it's very Western, and no. I'm telling you right now, years later, this is not something that I will ever wear out of the house. So it's a museum. Enough with the air quotes. It's a museum piece. Thank you. Stop me. It's a museum piece, and I do see people do this from time to time. Now, the reason I'm going to ask your opinion on this is, I actually love that you own, but I mean two different ways. You've purchased, but you also own the Gabino jacket, meaning you wear that
Yes,
thing.
yes.
And many people bought it because they're like, it's the Daniel Craig Matera thing, like me, and they don't wear it, but you own it. So talk to us about this mistake versus
This is
the
what's
solution.
wild, is that was going to be my example.
Talk to us about it.
Okay, so at Gatherall, I got several compliments on it, and I was surprised nobody else had it on. But it's an interesting piece.
Yeah.
And it is one similar to the duster Daniel Craig looks awesome in. I think when he's wearing the duster with the Henley underneath, it's a hell of a look.
It is.
And you and I both know, where in the world are we going to wear that?
Right.
So the Connolly was one I saw him wearing it and thought, I need to have it. So when it showed up, I thought, okay, it's a little short, supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the sleeves are baggy, supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did a review on it. Somebody from Connolly actually commented on the review and said the sleeves are baggy because it's a driving jacket
Yeah.
from the 50s. So you had a bigger wheel, whatever the case. You needed
Yeah.
the range of movement. So then that made me say, okay, I won't tailor it. But then I shelved it. So the difference, though, is that is something that was not only expensive,
Yeah.
but I really wanted it. And I thought, you know what? You just have to wear it because it is perfectly sized. It is the right size. It looks great. Just because I'm kind of uncomfortable in it, I guess what this would be kind of the opposite side of that coin. It's like once you put it on, wear it. Like literally and figuratively, wear it
Yeah.
and own it because, you know, that was a piece that could very easily be on a mannequin in my house that I just kind of said, you know what, we got to just do it.
And the Gabino, the reason I gave you such cred for it, and I think you got so many compliments at Gatherall, was when you wear it, you have so much confidence in that whole idea of what Connery sort of invented of, you know, wearing the clothes, not letting the clothes wear you. When you wear that, it almost looks like an accessory versus a jacket on you. And it's like a second shirt the way you wear it.
Yeah.
And I love that. And people are like, Luke looks so good in there. But what I need to do, and I do, is saying, but David, you're not Luke. You're not built like Luke. You don't have the same skin tone. So it's not going to look the same on you, and you need to make smart choices.
Okay, side note then.
Side
do you
note.
think the Connolly isn't a strong look on you?
The Gabino.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
See, I completely disagree.
But I'll tell you why. Thank you.
I truly do.
Maybe I'll try it on this afternoon. Who knows? But I think that if I was to go get a jacket and say it's jacket weather, let me put on a jacket, 9 times out of 10 it'll be a Harrington. Because Harringtons with the high collar, with the way they fit in the squared shoulder, fit me better.
You know what, though? Of all the people in the world, I challenge you to
Challenge accepted.
I challenge you to step out of the comfort zone.
I will.
Because I don't think you have a problem doing that.
I will do that.
And I think it looks great on you. And you know what? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's just like a self-deprecation thing, but
Yeah.
I've seen it on David. I've seen it on other people. I always think, like, I don't look like that in it. But apparently, maybe other people see me and think, he looked great in that.
It could be. I want to end this video on something that is literally my biggest pet peeve.
Okay.
When it comes to men's style in general, but especially Bond, people that follow the Bond lifestyle.
Yeesh.
And it's under the heading of tender, loving care or care. And that is, first of all, shoe care. I've seen the most amazing suits, beautiful lint removers, absolutely gorgeous, or sweaters or chinos. Everything looks tailored perfectly. Mwah. And then all of a sudden you look down to their shoes and they're scuffed.
Beat
They're
up.
dirty.
Yeah.
They're not shined. And I've seen it so many times. And it's like, I know women. Women look at your eyes and they go right down to your shoes.
Rachel Grant.
Yeah, they go right down to your shoes. So I'm telling you right now, a little bit of shoe care, after you wear your shoes, giving them a rest, giving them a scuff, making sure that there's nothing wrong with them, because they're a major investment in a lot of our worlds, especially the Bond world, like Crockett and Jones.
Yeah.
And then before you wear them, inspecting them, are they looking great? It is a calling card to your discipline, how you look, and the Bond lifestyle when your shoes look good. And I see mistakes a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree with that completely. That's a good one. And I think there are shoes that you can get away with the beat up look. Like something like the Moltons.
Yeah.
Like if you see where you wore them in No Time to Die, you know that they were going to get beat up.
Right.
But
that's why they look good, because the Moltons, you don't have to do that.
Yeah. But then, something like a nice suede shoe, like if it's raining outside, don't wear that shoe.
Or the Tetberries or something high shine or things like that. It's like
I've seen shoes get ruined by rain. Rain's got
rain's tough.
dirt in it.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes if it hits the right spot and sits there for a while, you're not ever getting that out.
But then you have the Islay boots, like from Skyfall, that are made to go even in the snow if they need to.
Right.
And they do, but then you need to clean them, you need to dry them, you need to stuff them with something.
Dust bags.
Yeah, little. And by the way, if you're looking at this like, guys, come on, their shoes, go on YouTube and look up basic shoe care for different leathers and suedes and things like that. You will get such an education, and you'll be the better because of it.
Yeah. When I was still working downtown Detroit, my walk from the parking lot to the building was like a good 10 minutes, truly.
Oh my gosh.
So when it would snow and there's salt on the ground.
Salt.
So you're walking very far in nice shoes, and then you get home, as in me, and you don't clean off the salt, guess what?
You're doomed.
Those shoes truly, and this is no joke, last maybe a month.
Yeah, true. I agree.
Yeah.
One last thing under the heading of care, we're still staying under the care, so it's still the last one, trust me on this, is a simple one. And folks, it takes 5 minutes or less, and you can even do it the night before you actually wear something, is take out and iron your clothing. I can't tell you how many times, or steam. I can't tell you how many times I'll see somebody take a picture of themselves on Instagram or do something, and they still have the folding crease lines, or they look a wrinkled mess. It is, again, a sign of discipline. When you come in looking crisp and everything's hanging right and you look like you just stepped out of a movie or a cinema or a Bond film, guess what Bond doesn't have? He doesn't have creases. He doesn't have wrinkles. The wrinkles are here, not here. So, simple one. What do you think?
Good one.
You like it?
Very good one.
Good.
Can I throw one tiny one in there?
Absolutely.
Learn how to tie a tie, guys.
Oh, talk
Every
to us
guy
about
should
that.
know how to tie a tie.
It's badly done sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, make sure the tie's going all the way up to the neck.
Preferred knot? Which preferred knot do you have? The Windsor, the half Windsor, the double Windsor?
Just a regular Windsor's fine.
I like the piano key tie from Chess King. Look, I don't even know what that means. You're too young to know what that is. Chess King, do you know what Chess King was? It was a store during like the 80s and 90s, and they were world famous for a piano key tie. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments, and Luke will send you a prize.
Oh.
Each person that does it, that puts the reference, Luke will send an amazing prize in the mail.
Okay, here's the deal. I will pick one person in the comments, and I will send them a piano tie.
You'll find one on eBay.
I'll have Mason and Sons make one.
Oh, no, yeah. And now you're promising.
I'll send you a $600 piano tie.
And talking of
Just kidding.
mistakes,
Just
promising prizes that you'll never deliver on is another mistake.
Yeah.
Luke, my brother, thank you for
Thank
doing
you.
this. I know this
Appreciate
was
you.
harsh, but it's all in love, right?
Yeah.
It's all about getting the best version of all of us.
Couple changes.
Tweaks. That's all. You're great the way you are. All right. This has been Luke Taggart and David Zwitzky for the Bond Experience. We'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.